everyone, Sophia here. Welcome back to my Etsy shop. I am going to feature items, 7 items going in the shop, Frenchy and Tubby tomorrow. That would be January 24th at 5 p.m. I have a lot of crystal and porcelain and some ceramic and a little bit of almost antique stuff, but mostly vintage. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget that I now have my Etsy shop on Instagram at Frenchy and Tubby. I put some behind the scene, all of my thrifting trips are there, a little bit of history about certain items, you know, just like kind of info, things that I'm passionate about. If you want to follow me over there at Frenchy and Tubby. Let's get started with the one in the thumbnail. Some of you are probably excited about this already and recognize it. Can we talk Wedgwood? This is something. Well, Wedgwood is something, but this is a really big deal. I was super excited when I found this. You know that Wedgwood did a lot of historical plates. This kind of plates. They are transferware. They are called the Etrurian blue of Wedgwood, and these were actually originally designed by a lady named Louise Irving, I think was her name, and they were designed in 1932 in preparation for the state of Georgia's bicentennial, which was in 1933. This plate is not from 1933. It is a reissue. They've reissued them all the way up to 1972. But this is one of the historical plates of the state of Georgia that were designed by Wedgwood. And they did a whole series in 1933. And then eventually the state of Georgia declared those plates, that particular series of plates, their official historical plates for the state. This is a dinner plate, and by all means go on replacement.com and see how much these plates are worth, because it's insane. Okay, nowhere near that in my shop. You know that I'm always more than reasonable, I think, in the pricing. So what is this? This is actually the very first female college in the United States. It is called the original building of Georgia Female College, now Wesleyan, I think that's the name of it, Wesleyan, Macon in Georgia, established 1836. There's a group of ladies right there. I don't know if you can see it. Okay. And then it's got a whole bunch of other landmarks, historical landmarks for the state of Georgia. There's a little date right here with the seal of Georgia, the Constitution of 1799 for the state of Georgia. This is amazing. It's a beautiful transferware. If you like blue and white decor and you have plates like this already on your wall and you've been dying to get yourself one of the very famous Wedgwood plates, by all means get this one because it's beautiful. It's in perfect condition. This is obviously from, because it's not an original one, you can tell from the lack of crazing and the quality of the ceramic and porcelain itself. It's got in the back the whole little blurb, and it says original building of Georgia Female College, now Wesleyan, Macon, Georgia, established 1836, first college in the world to bestow degrees upon women. Catherine Brewer received the first diploma in 1840. These are made in England, and they were commissioned by the Transylvania Club of Sandersville, Georgia. Dinner plate. They had the whole service. They had the bread plates, the salad plates, and the dinner plate. This is a 10.5-inch plate, and it is absolutely stunning. So if you're from the state of Georgia, definitely you want this. If you're into Wedgwood, you want this too. And if you're into blue and white decor, when I originally acquired this plate, it still had its little hooks. This plate was displayed on a wall its entire life. It is practically brand new. There's not a single scratch on the surface. The plate was never used as a plate. It was always on display, and it's stunning. Look, they have peaches. They have all the Georgia peaches. Other place are the Savannah, first steamship to cross the Atlantic. There's the Frederica fortification, the Liberty Hall, home of Alexander Stepmere. I can't read it. It's very small. The Bethesda first orphanage in America, and the home of Crawford Long, discoverer of ether anesthesia. Milestones for the state of Georgia. If you know anybody who's from Georgia, currently lives in Georgia, what a gift. Okay, so that was item number 1. Item number 2. Let's stay in porcelain. I'm having a hard time letting this one go. You know, I'm not a fan of Lenox only because I am not a fan of ivory colored porcelain. I like crisp white. But this vase is beautiful. This is part of the Barrington collection, which is now discontinued. And it's from the 80s and 90s. They stopped doing it in the 90s. And let me move the light a little bit so you can see it better. By all means, go on my page, etsy.com/shop/Frenchy and Tubby, to see the close-up pictures, because I think I take good pictures. It is beautiful. It says Barrington collection at the bottom. It has a little bit of the repeat of the pattern. It's peonies, and I think sweet peas all around it. Ivory bone china by Lenox. You know their product is high quality china with a gold accent on the rim here and a gold accent on the bottom. It's got a little tiny detail that's easy to miss, and I'm going to try to do a close-up on it, if only it would. Okay, maybe you can see it right here, raised. It's like Japanese mouriage. You see that? So it's right here, and then it's a repeat over here. It's just a tiny little bit of a raised relief. There's one right here, I'm trying to feel, and one right here. You see it? Oh, it's so cute. It's elegant, it's feminine. It's one of those timeless pieces by Lenox. It's really beautiful. And another one that is in amazing condition. Look at the inside, not a stain, nothing, not a scratch. Perfection. It is a beautiful vase. Discontinued, the Barrington pattern, and apparently they did Barrington pattern in an entire line, not just the gift ideas. They had, you know, the whole service, the plates, they had glasses. It's a beautiful vase. So it's very feminine. It's a nice gift, I think, for Valentine's Day coming up soon. You know, if you have somebody you want to gift, even for a teacher, I think it would be a beautiful gift because it's small enough you can have it in a classroom. It's a nice little shelf cedar, you know. It's a pretty vase. Sometimes you don't need big things, like the next one. When I come back, item number 3. Okay, talking about big. There's a company called the Canadian Ceramic Crafts. And back in the mid-60s, early 70s, they commissioned an entire series of pottery/ceramic called Heritage. And the Heritage was supposed to be kind of a homage to the American style called Federal style. And for those of you who know a little bit about history, usually Federal style is what? Is the American flag and the eagle. But they didn't make those in Canada like the rest of the products. They commissioned them out of Italy. And they came up with this. It's a whole series with the eagle and the American seal on it. Let me see if I can give you a decent close-up. Look at this. This, again, is in perfect condition. And they did this vase kind of like an urn type vase. They did bowls, they did plates. They had different types of vase. This one is a pedestal vase. They had a whole series called Heritage with that eagle and the American seal on it with the American flag, federal style, but made in Italy with Italy type hand-painted ceramic and designs. And how do we know that? Because, well, it's at the bottom right here. And this one it's dated right here, 1969. Look at the condition of this thing. Literally, I don't think that anyone has used it other than a few little specks. You can't even see it. You see that right here? Little speck of paint that chipped. They may have put something in there that was hard and just chipped the paint. But otherwise on the outside, it's absolutely perfect. It's hand painted in Italy. It is handmade in Italy. It's Italian ceramic commissioned by CCC. That's what CCC says right here, stands for at the bottom, Canadian Ceramic Crafts. And it says Italy Heritage. That's the collection. It's really cool. I love the fake handles right here. It's got this Roman feel to it, right? What do you do with this? Well, it's a vase, obviously. Personally, I would put dried flowers in it, and I would keep it like this all year long as a decorative statement. You can put it on the shelf, you can put it in an entryway, you can use it to corral things if you want in an entryway, but it's quite big and it's beautiful. Red, white, and blue. If you have a friend who's very patriotic or yourself and love this Americana type decor, this is perfect. And it's from 1969. It's older than me, okay, not by much, but it's older by 1 year. I have no shame, I'll tell you, I'm 54. It's 55 years old. Look at this thing. There's no chip on the rim. There's no stain, no crazy. It's very well made. So it's Italian pottery, but an homage to America. Made in 69. Very nice, hand-painted eagle. And again, they did a whole series. I saw other pieces with the same design made by them in 1970, 71, 72. I think they did it for about 4 years. But this one is dated 69 at the bottom. This is really cool. Again, if you know somebody who's into that Americana federal style decor, very patriotic, oof, perfect. Okay, so that's item number 3. Let's do crystal. This my mom picked. She's got a good eye, Mom. I don't know if you can see it well. Can you see this? I need to be in front of it for it to focus. Otherwise it confuses me with the object. Okay. Look at this thing. This is Bohemian crystal. This one is from the 1960s. It's a fluted, tapered vase. This is the epitome of what Bohemian crystal is known for. You want to hear it sing? Do you hear the difference from other types of crystal? This is 24% lead crystal. Absolutely stunning. So Bohemian glass. It's coming from the Bohemia and Silesia region, which is now the Czech Republic. And they were always known for their glass making and then later on their crystal making. But the craftsmanship was really focused on the cutting aspect of it. So they did a lot of cut glass and cut crystal like this one. And because of the amount of lead that they have in it, it really disperses more light than what you would see coming out of Europe around that time. So they are well known, and I wish I could give you like a really good light effect on it for being amazingly refracting. So this one is a rather tall vase, but because it's flared this way, it allows you to put flowers that take a lot of room. Think hydrangea, your big pompon, right? So your stems actually go sideways, so you can have this big umbrella of flowers on top. A vase like this, I'm going to show you this one. A vase like this would not allow you to do that because it's not as flared. And a vase like, let's not break stuff, this one, which is coming soon, will definitely not allow you to do that. You want to be able to put as much volume as you can on top. So by having the stems going this way and that way and this way and that way, you get to have really large blooms. That's the beauty of a vase like this. It's got cut diamond designs, starburst all around, thumbprints. It's from the 60s. It is absolutely beautiful. There is one tiny little defect. Let me find it. It's right here. It's not even a chip. It's, you can't see it. You really can't see it. But considering it's 1960s, it's not a big deal. If you're wondering if Bohemian crystal is really what people claim it to be, you'll see in my little blurb that I talked about how there was a period in time where they actually far surpassed the other European brands, including Baccarat. In 1958, there was the Universal exhibit in Brussels, where companies, manufacturers were showcasing the best of their best. And Bohemian Crystal won that year at the Universal exhibit as best crystal in the world, 1958. So this is not too far after it because it's from the 60s. So you can see that obviously at the time it was considered the best crystal you could get. It's really beautiful. You can really see the craftsmanship in it. This is hand cut, and it's 24% or more lead crystal. When I saw it first, I thought actually that it was a Valaška Bela from Slovenia, but from what I've read and other ones that I've seen online, it's actually Bohemian. It's more from the Silesia region. It's, I'm not in focus. I'm sorry. It's a really nice vase. And even with that little weird thing that I can't find now. Right here. It's just a beautiful vase. So even with the little flaw that it has right here on the rim, it's a stunning vase. If you like to collect crystal, if you like to collect vases and you want something in your house that's timeless, because this is timeless, perfect. Wow, wow, wow. This is another one that Mom picked up. Let me clean it. This is amazing. This is an Art Deco, actually 1930s. Can you see the design? Let me get something a little bit darker. Maybe if I put my phone. Okay. Stay in focus. Do you see the design? Look at this. Okay. What is this? Well, it's crystal. It's Art Deco. It's from the 1930s, but it's not from Bohemia or anything like this. This is actually from Sweden. It's from a company called Strongberg Schetan or Scheiten. I'm not sure. Shyttan. I don't speak Swede, so I don't know how to pronounce it. They had a whole series like this called the Leaping Deer, and then they did other design, but this is about as Art Deco as it can get. It's a leaping deer with some grass around it. I'm really trying to find something. Let me see. I should have been prepared. Okay, can you see it now? Look at this. So it's etched right? And it's a leaping deer with grass. It's a tiny little thing. It's amazing. It's Swedish crystal. The guy who opened this company, Strongberg Chetan in Sweden, actually came out of the Orifors factory, which I collect a few pieces of Orifor crystal from Sweden. And the funny thing is that in the 70s, Orifor actually bought Stromberg. So he worked for them, left, created his own company, and then I guess it would be a mark of success. He got bought back by the same company he left. So Orifor now owns Stromberg, but they're gone. The brand itself is gone. It's a really nice vase. This could fit in any decor today because it still has a very modern look to it. And because it's Art Deco, the lines are very simple. There's nothing fussy about it. I think it's a very nice vase. It's small, so you can use it on the table. You can even put pens in it if you want, instead of using it as a vase. It's just such an unusual design. I think it is. Look at this. It's an oblong shape, and they made much taller ones, which, by the way, I have one coming soon. So if you like this one and you like this brand and the way they look and the shape of it, know that pretty soon I'm going to have in the shop its sister, not the same design, but its sister that's about this tall, that I found at a totally different shop, by the way. So this is Stromberg Chetan from Sweden, 1930s Art Deco leaping deer vase. Really neat. It has a few scratches right here. Let me see if I can show you. Come on, stay focused. You can barely see them. You can't even see them. They're like, I don't know, they like rub. Maybe like they were against something at some point. You can't see it at all. Okay? So, Sweden vase from the 1930s. Almost an antique. My last two items are trinket boxes. Two different time frame, two different manufacturers, and two different styles. But I know that people collect trinket boxes, porcelain ones, and some of them are quite interesting. I'm going to start with the most interesting of them. This one. This is from Lefton. Here we go. Look at the shape of this thing. It almost looks like a one of those bucket purse. It has flowers. These are transferware. They're not hand painted. It's from the 60s. I don't think it really shows on camera, but this is actually a pearlescent ivory color. And then the top has more flowers to it. It has a brass hinge with a little button right here. So you just push that and you see the porcelain inside. This is big enough that you can put a pearl necklace in it, a watch, rings, whatever you want. It's very nice. The closure is a good closure. Sometimes, you know, they kind of worn out. It's like a little shell or daisy flowers here. And at the bottom, it's numbered. And it says Lefton Trademark Exclusives Japan. So Lefton was created in the 1930s, I think 1939, by an American immigrant. I think he was from Hungary. And the interesting thing about him is that right after World War II, actually right after Pearl Harbor, he was one of the very first manufacturers of porcelain in the US who decided that he was going to help Japanese designers for porcelain in China. So he partnered with somebody he knew who was a friend of his, who later connected him with manufacturers in Japan. And so later, right after the war in 1946, you know, the victory over Japan, he actually was the very first American manufacturer to commission porcelain in China out of Japan. At the time, it was occupied Japan, 46 to 55, I think, was occupied Japan. So you're going to see a lot of occupied Japan out there, but if you have the Lefton sticker on it, know that he was the very first one to import occupied Japan porcelain, and all of his china and porcelain was made and decorated in Japan and was later imported in the United States for the American market. And this is one of their work. It's from the 60s. This is obviously from Japan. It says at the bottom, this is not occupied Japan, but it's a really interesting looking, different type of trinket box. It's got flowers all around, different types of bloom, and there's a little surprise butterfly right here in the front. It's in really good shape. Very little fading on the transfer wear here and there, but it's got this vintage flair to it that I really like because the shape is so different. Ladies used to put those on the vanity desk or the vanity table, and you would come home after whatever, an evening, or if you worked after work, you would sit down, brush your hair, something I don't do, brush your hair, you would take off your pearl necklace and put your necklace in there. They may have had a little bit of a silk cushion at the bottom to protect their pearls for sure. But this is quite interesting. I like this, and it's inexpensive. And my last item is also a trinket box, totally different time period, but this is a heart one, and I'm putting it in the shop now in anticipation of Valentine's Day. So we here have a Mikasa 1980s porcelain box shaped like a heart, but it's a little bit off. You see that? It's not like the point otherwise would be here. It's just slightly curved, and it's fine bone china by Mikasa, crisp white. I love the sound of it, and the design is called anthurium, which is the flowers that you see right here. So it's very pale. Let me see if I can give you a nice close-up. You see the flower? It's very pale. It's here. It's right here on the side. It's very stylized, very 80s, isn't it? With a little bit of a gold accent here on the lid, and then same thing right here. It says Mikasa Anthurium in the back. Mikasa Japan, and it's numbered FX007. It's from the 80s. It's a discontinued pattern for Mikasa. I love that little dent right here. It's a really cute little box, whether it's for Mother's Day for yourself or Valentine's Day. Isn't it nice? I love the sound. I'm telling you, I love the sound of it. It's very 80s looking. The more you look at it, the more you start seeing little details. You like the little stripes here. It's very pretty. Mikasa bone china, crisp white porcelain in perfect condition. It's perfect. No crazing, nothing. Such a delicate, very delicate little trinket box. And that was my last item. So you're probably wondering, well, what would you keep? Given that I cannot keep everything, I would absolutely keep this one. Not because it's from the 30s and it's the oldest thing that I'm showcasing today, but I really like the shape and the design, but I like the shape. It's just different. And I'm telling you, I have a few pieces of OFR in my curio upstairs. When I spot them, I recognize them right away. There's a feel to them. It's heavier crystal. It's the clarity of it. You just know it's from that area. And they do a lot of crystal that is not, obviously, you see that it's not hand cut. It doesn't have a lot of facet. It's a different type of crystal. I really like this. I would totally keep this. And I would keep the Lenox because it's a pretty vase. It's small. It's one of those that you can keep as a decorative item. Not in a curio, but on a credenza table somewhere. You can just have it on display all year long. It is that pretty. I love the peonies on it and the little raised moirage. So these are the two items I would keep. You know, I mean, yeah, obviously, you know me, I would keep everything. But in the interest of being reasonable, these are the two I would absolutely keep because I really, really like them. So these are the 7 items going in the shop tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's January the 24th. Follow me on Instagram, Frenchy and Tubby, for close-ups and behind the scenes and previews of these and other items. Tell me down below which item do you like best. I have a feeling that this one and these and this one are gonna have a lot of votes. Not just because it's blue, but because they really are unique and beautiful. Tell me down below. Thumbs up if you like this, and I will see you later. Link down below and up here for the shop. Thanks for watching. Bye.